What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Pokemon Shelter. My name is Ryan. I'm your host. This week, we're going to pretty much pick back up where we left off last week. Last week, we spoke of Scalpers, we spoke of Pokemon Go, Pokemon Snap, and we spoke about the new Shining Fates expansion that's set to come out on February the 19th. This week, we're going to speak on stuff that I've done personally, stuff I've received, stuff that I've sent off for grading. We're going to speak on a little more Pokemon Snap news, not much. I know we touched on that a lot last week, but this week we will touch on a little bit. We're going to talk about a little news in Pokemon that's unconventional, but it also relates to Pokemon Go. We're also going to talk about a couple of things that have increased, a couple of things that have sold during the last week in Pokemon. And it should be a pretty good podcast, so let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing we'll touch on is the current state of Pokemon like we normally do. It's pretty much the same. It's hard to find anything. I have seen a few trainer toolkits pop up here and there in stores, Target, Walmart, things like that. I don't really have any LGSs around me to go get Pokemon from. There's one place in High Point. They don't really do much in Pokemon, and they're pretty straightforward and honest about that. They mainly deal in Magic the Gathering, which is okay. So stuff that I've received this week. I know last week I showed you guys a few things that I've received. The thing with it this week is that it is so much. I'm not really going to be able to hold everything up. It'll just take us too much time. So I think what we'll do is up on the screen here, if you are watching on YouTube, I'm going to show it for you now. And for those of you who aren't on YouTube, who are just listening, I'm going to pretty much walk through everything I've gotten here. So if we look over here, I have a lot of blister packs. I have the XY Breakpoint blister packs. They come with 2 packs. They also come with different pins. The pins vary from Kangaskhan to, I think, Mega Gengar. Over here, I have a blister of Dragon Majesty. Dragon Majesty is a really, really small set. It was a good set, though. I pretty much bought this because it's the last pack art I needed, the Charizard, in order to complete the 4-pack art set. We have 2 of these Knockout collections. One has Lucario, one has Tyranitar. I have a few Sun and Moon blisters. I have a few Guardian Rising blisters, Guardian Rising sleeve boosters, Dragon Ablaze sleeve boosters, Roaring Skies sleeve boosters, Unified Mind blisters, Team Up blisters. These are pretty neat. These are pin collections. They have 3 pins, 2 packs. Each one comes with Evolutions and Crimson Invasion. I have 2 of those. Then I have 3 of the Vivid Voltage blisters that also comes with a promo card and a Dragonite 10 down here. So yeah, this is all the stuff that I've gotten in the last week. It's quite a bit of stuff. I know I was speaking to one of my friends. He had a lot of things that he got this week. Mainly the stuff that he got was vintage. And I don't have a ton of vintage stuff, honestly. Not sealed. I have a lot of vintage single cards, obviously, in bulk, but not a lot of sealed stuff. I do have a few black and white blisters coming in, but I wouldn't really consider that vintage at this point, even though it is 10 years old this year. But me, the way that I'm going about it, I think I'm pretty much banking on modern. I'm trying to get stuff that is modern, that is relatively affordable, so that I don't have to pick between getting one thing or getting 10 things to grow my collection with. So that's why a lot of the times you'll see me getting more modern stuff, because like I said last week, this stuff will increase in value. It may not reach the same heights that, vintage stuff is at currently. Obviously, that stuff will always be older. But if I can buy in for $5 and in 5 years it's worth $300, that's $295 profit, versus if I buy something vintage that costs me $400 and in 5 years it's worth $500. It's just more return for me in my eyes. So that is what I have gotten in the last week since we spoke. I also want to speak on a few submissions that I did. I did send a few cards off the CGC to get graded. I sent in my base set 2 Venusaur, base set 2 Blastoise, the Illustrator Charizard, which is a really, really neat card that came out in Japan last year. It was a Japanese exclusive. But, I sent that off. I also sent off the Special Delivery Pikachu. The Venusaur and Blastoise, I honestly think they'll come back probably a 7 or an 8. I'll be really happy if they come back a 9, but I don't think that they will. I'm pretty sure it's going to come back a 7 or an 8. Illustrated Charizard, I'm honestly expecting a 10 on that, as well as a Special Delivery Pikachu, because they are brand new. Special Delivery Pikachu I got from Pokemon Center. It was sent right off. Well, not sent right off, but it didn't do anything. It just sat there. The Illustrated Charizard, same thing. I got that in from Japan. It sat inside of my binder. Never really touched it or anything. And Japanese cards, if you know, they are printed a little better than English quality cards, or English cards. The quality is better. They are printed on better card stock. You can feel the difference between a Japanese card and an English card, and Japanese cards are usually a little better. So I'm pretty excited for those submissions. And while we are on the topic of Special Delivery Pikachu, I want us to talk about it for a few seconds. So the Special Delivery Pikachu, for those of you who don't know, it was a free card with a $20 purchase from PokemonCenter.com. I purchased this Gengar figure, and I was able to get that card for free. I wish I would have gotten more of them. I wish I would have placed 5, 6, 7 orders, because there's a lot of people who were manipulating the system that way. But essentially, that's a $20 card. Cost you $20 to get it. That's your buy-in price for a Special Delivery Pikachu. $20. I remember when I got my Special Delivery Pikachu, or the day that I ordered, I hadn't even gotten it yet. I placed my order. On eBay, that card was going for maybe $70. Was it 70? It was between 50 and $70 that card was going for. And that was when people were still ordering them. Why people were buying them for 70 instead of going on Pokemon Center and spending $20 on their own, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Okay. So it's been a few months back. So I don't know if you guys follow Special Delivery Pikachu, if you follow Pokemon news much, if you follow eBay sales or anything, or the value of cards. But on the 17th of this month, on January 17th, which was a week ago, I think 17th was the last podcast that we released. So one sold in PSA 10 condition, which is the best condition you can get on PSA side. On any side, you can get a PSA 10 on, or a 10 rather. Beckett, you can get a black label, which means that card is perfect. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But a card that costs $20, Special Delivery Pikachu, on eBay, someone bought a PSA 10 for $14,000. $14,000 on a card that costs $20, man. I have never known a card to increase in value that much. Even, like, if you look at base set Charizard, when it first came out, it took a long time for it to hit $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. This card came out just a few months ago, and it's selling for $14,000 in PSA 10. I've seen PSA 9 sell for, $3,000, $2,000. You have PSA 10 selling for $14,000, $7,000, $8,000, all the way up to $14,000 is crazy. I can't wait to get mine back. I do hope mine gets a CGC 10. I didn't send mine off the PSA because PSA's wait time is so ridiculous. With CGC, I'm doing express, so I should have it back within a month. I know some people have said that PSA's hold is like a couple of months now at this point. Some people have been waiting on cards for the last 6 months, 7 months. And that's not something I really want to do. So I have a membership to CGC. I can send it off to them. If you don't have a membership with CGC, the only other way to get cards to them is to actually take it to a show, which with the state of the world right now, they're not doing many shows for people to drop things off. So yeah, I just wanted to touch base on Special Delivery Pikachu, man. A card that costs $20 that's currently worth $14,000 in PSA 10. It's crazy. That's really neat. Next up, let's hop back into more Pokemon Snap news. So the game's product page now, which is on on Google, on the Pokemon Snap website, or on your Nintendo Switch, you can pre-order the game now. It is 6.8 gigabytes. So if you don't know, the Nintendo Switch comes with 32 gigabytes of internal storage. You can add a memory card or a little SD card into it to increase your storage. But they have released the size at 6.8 gigabytes. Pokemon Sword and Shield take up 11.3 gigabytes on the Switch. So that's just a little size comparison for you there. The product page also confirms that Pokemon Snap is a single-player game. But despite this, it appears there's some kind of an online component. The page mentions that the new Pokemon Snap supports Nintendo Switch Online and features online play, although no other details were shared beyond that. So we're presuming that the online mode will be used to share your best photos, but nothing's been confirmed yet. So I think it would be really neat if Nintendo would allow you to comment on people's pictures. I don't see that happening though, because Nintendo, they're so withdrawn from communication on their system. We don't even have a messaging app on Nintendo Switch, and it's been out since 2017, I think about 2017 it's been out, but we don't even have a way to message our friends yet. They just released a way to invite people to games not very long ago. I think it was a few months back. So you can invite people to games, you can do game invites, but there is no way to message, to communicate with your friends. There's no voice chat unless you use their cell phone app, which is that's a podcast in and of itself on that, man. I'm not even getting into how I feel about that. But 6.8 gigabytes, it's not really big. Small game. It's about the size of Animal Crossing New Horizons, if I'm not mistaken. Single player, but there is some sort of online component. I would imagine just sharing pictures and being able to see other people's pictures. So that's what I'm thinking. So last week we touched on Pokemon Go with the Machop thing. This week we're not really going to get into what's currently going on in Pokemon Go, but I came across this news article from England, and I want to read it to you. So the BBC reports that a man in England, a nation that's currently in lockdown in an attempt to curb a rampant infection rate arising from a new, more contagious strain of COVID-19, has broken the country's strict restrictions to play some Pokemon Go, and as a result has been caught and fined by police. So he got a $270 fine, and it was for neglecting the requirement to not leave or be outside the place they live without a reasonable excuse. After he admitted to police he had driven from his home in Bedworth to look for characters in Kenilworth. I'm sorry for any of you guys listening in England if I've murdered the pronunciation of that city. So the trip was around 25 minutes by cars. So the police have commented and said that folks are only allowed outside their homes with a reasonable excuse, and that looking for Pokemon is not a reasonable excuse. So there you go. He left home to go play Pokemon Go. 25-minute drive cost him $270. I hope the shiny Machop was worth it, man. But people are serious, man. Especially, I have read about the new strain. I don't like to do politics. I don't like to get into all that stuff, but I have heard about the new strain in England, and they're trying to curb it, and going out to catch a Machop, it's not going to help it. Oh, sorry. All right, something else that we have here. I'm going to pull this up on screen for us. If you're watching, if you're just listening, I'm obviously going to read it to you. So, a Pokemon test print Blastoise auctioned off for $360,000 for one card, man. It's not even a Charizard, it's Blastoise. It's pretty neat. So according to the collectible grading website CGC, the one I told you I use, it looks like this one was sent in a CGC. Maybe that'll help give CGC a little more credibility and a little more leadway in the grading scene. So it's a one-of-a-kind test print copy of the Pokemon trading card game's base set. Has set a major milestone for the TCG community and sold for $360,000, the highest amount that any English language Pokemon card has ever sold for. So that's higher than Charizard. Blastoise is now the man to beat. Makes me feel good because back when the games first came out, Blastoise was always my favorite Pokemon to play with. Squirtle was normally the starter I started with, obviously. So, it says, oh no, okay, yeah, so this amount does not officially break any records for a Pokemon card overall, as it ties with the former record breaker, a sealed box of base set, but it does prove that the market is booming for these cards. So one card has sold for $360,000, tying the record-breaking box of base set. And here we have on screen, it's a picture of the slab with the card in it. I don't like the way the HP looks on it. It's a little weird. You know how on on your Samsung, you can change the font so it's that more little, I don't know the name of the font, but it's like a squigglier type of font. That's what this reminds me of. So the slab is an 8.5 near mint, mint plus, Blastoise 1998 commission presentation, number 9 out of 165, Galaxy Star Hollow. It was a true 8.5, or no, edges got a 9.5, center an 8.5, surface 8.5, corners 8.5, edges got a 9.5. It is still pretty neat though, man, just to be able to see like the prototype of the card. That's really, really cool. So this was based out of the auction house Heritage Auctions. Yeah, that is that's really special, man. That is really, really neat. Next up, let's hop into first edition base set booster box. I know in that article it does say that the Blastoise sold and tied for what a base set booster box sold for, but that is not true, because I'm guessing since that article was written, Pokemon first edition base set sells for a mind-blowing $400,000. So a Pokemon first edition base set sealed booster box released by Wizards of the Coast in 1999 set a new record by selling for $408,000 at auction. $408,000 for a box, guys. It's a great time to be in the hobby. So the box reportedly sold during the second season of Heritage Auctions 4-day comics and comic art auction, which runs through Sunday, January 17th. The afternoon session included 16 Pokemon lots overall, which accounted for more than $1.3 million in sales. That's so neat, dude. Base set box for $408,000 sold at auction. When I was younger, man, I contemplated spending so much money on base set boxes, like a couple $1,000s for a box. And I didn't, and I really wish that I had of, but I did not. That's something I will forever have to kick myself in the behind for, you know. All right, so next up, I know we're kind of rolling through things here, but before we move to anything else, I do want to speak on the base set box a little more. So that sold for $408,000. That came out 1999. 2000, let's just say around that. Okay, so that's a 1999 base set box. I'm pretty sure they were printed until 2000, 1999, 2000. So those boxes would have cost people who were able to buy from a distributor between $800 and $100 from their distributor per box. So in a case, you get 6 boxes. So, you know, $600 tops for a case, which I'm guessing it was more around $85 for a box, because if you're buying from a distributor, normally you're paying, you know, $84, sometimes less. If you're buying more, if you've done a lot of business with them, you have a larger storefront. So last week I spoke on how I feel, and I told you my theory that Pokemon's a better investment than the stock market, and I think this kind of shows you how that can be, because I know stock markets get into huge numbers and lots of gains and all of that good stuff, but I don't know of any stories that I've read or anything that any times that I've heard of someone putting $80 into a stock and in 20 years they yielded $400,000 return, $408,000 return, $407,920 return in 20 years. And that's crazy to think about, because whenever I think of stocks, whenever I put money in stocks, I've put money in companies that are just starting, that are projected to go very high, and never seen anything like that, never heard of anything like that. I know Bitcoin came out in 2016, 2015, 2016 Bitcoin came out. If I'm wrong, you guys please let me know. But I know you could put a couple $100s in Bitcoin to buy a Bitcoin, a complete Bitcoin, and I think now they're going for, 36,000, maybe 40. That's not bad. That's 4 or 5 years, but, you know, still, you had to put a lot more than $80 in it, and you haven't gotten 400,000 out of it. Not yet, anyway. Potentially, yeah, sure, the potential is there for Bitcoin. I don't know how many other things the potential is there for $80 to turn $80 into 400,000 for sitting it, just having something sitting there, something that you can look at. Like I said last week, there's something that you can't get with stocks. You don't have something that you can look at. You don't have something that you can display. You don't have something that you can enjoy looking at. You can refresh your phone 1,000,000 times a day, and you can look at the rise and drops, but you don't have anything like a physical collection that you can, look at, that you can admire, that you can appreciate, that you can share with people. And I spoke to you guys last week about how buying booster boxes, buying Pokemon is a very good investment, and I still stand by it, because I'm not saying that it'll increase at the same rate that base set has. Obviously it won't, but Pokemon boosters are a safe investment. I've never seen a booster box drop below what they cost. So if you're able to get a booster box for $80, I've never seen a booster box sell below $80. I've rarely seen them sell below $100. You have some that are an anomaly of that. You have Rebel Clash, you have Crimson Invasion, but the way things are now, I don't see them remaining that low for very long. And if I'm not mistaken, they are already rising, because I know like Sun and Moon base set, I was able to get a booster box of that for $102 back in October. They are selling for close to $200 now. Sword and Shield base was around $109 around that same time. A base set booster box, Sword and Shield, and now it's selling for around $160. Vivid Voltage, the newest set that's out, was selling for around $130 pretty consistently when it first came out, like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. It's selling for over $200 now. Makes me feel worse. Last week, like I said, I did open up a booster box to see if I could pull anything, and I really wish I would have sat on it. I mean, I still have another one, but still. Everything's increasing now. You have Evolutions. That's another one I want to touch on, guys. Evolutions came out in 2016. Up until this whole boom that happened a couple months back, you were able to get Evolution booster boxes for $100. Sometimes it was hard to sell them at $100, and they're selling for $1,000 now. Pokemon Company was dumping Evolution booster packs in everything that had Pokemon's name on it. The Pokeball collections, any kind of boxes that you were getting had tons of Evolution in it. And now just one pack of Evolutions is going for around $20. That's pretty impressive too. So I don't know where it's going. I know it's going up. I don't know how high it's going to go. A lot of people say we're in a bubble. I don't think that we're in a bubble. I think this is the norm. This is just the market. This is how it's going to be. But yeah, I stand firmly by what I told you guys. Buy a booster box. Hold on to it. It's better to buy into it when it's cheap, obviously. Around the closer you can get it around $100, the closest you can stay to around $100 just maximizes your profit. Because 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, if you would have bought 10 Evolution booster boxes, you would have spent about $1,000, and you'd be sitting on about $10,000 right now in a year and a half. So you can invest in stocks if you want. If you think that stocks have that type of return for you, if you're that good at it, then by all means, man, go ahead. But I'll stand by Pokemon. Lastly, I think the last thing we're going to speak about today is BattleStyles, guys. I know last week we spoke of Shining Fates, and I told you that this week we'll go over a little bit of BattleStyles. So I'm going to pull up some BattleStyle stuff here. I know that the set already has released in Japan. It's two different sets. It's Rapid Strike and it's Single Strike. That's what they normally do. Japan will get two sets. Like in America, we got Vivid Voltage. In Japan, they got Astonishing Volt Tackle and they got Legendary Heartbeat. Those two sets together did form Vivid Voltage. In Legendary Heartbeat, you had the Amazing Rares. In Astonishing Volt Tackle, you had your Pikachu VMAX chase card. So let's pull up a little bit about BattleStyles here. If you can see on the screen here, you have a little bit of the pack art. It looks really cool. I do like the style of it. I like just the name BattleStyles. It's really neat. It's better than some of the other stuff that we've had in recent years. So it says it's a wild time to collect Pokemon TCG cards, fresh off the announcement of Shining Fates. The new special set debuted in February 2021 and already selling out in pre-order phase worldwide, which we spoke of last week. It's selling for ridiculous amounts. Sword and Shield BattleStyles will be the 5th overall Sword and Shield series, following the base set, Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, and the current Vivid Voltage. This new will set off a new wave of hype with both collectors and competitive TCG players as BattleStyles set introduce an entirely new battle mechanic into the game. So what I told you guys last week, BattleStyles is introducing a new mechanic into the game. Single strike, rapid strike. So you can really form your deck to your style of play. Single strike, obviously that harder hitting, do damage. Rapid strike, being able to constantly attack. I think what I've seen with some of the cards, the single strike cards are more like, okay, you can do this attack now and cause 200 damage, but you got to remove your energy off. Then you'll have another move that does no damage, but will allow you to put energy back on. So it looks like with single strike, you're going to be able to do one move every other turn pretty much. Whereas rapid strike, you're able to constantly chip away. It'll be really, really neat to see how people are doing their decks once competitive play rolls back out. And even on the TCG online game. So BattleStyles consists of single strike style, which delivers powerful, hard-hitting attacks that can knock out an opponent in a single blow, and rapid strike style, which uses sneaky technical attacks that allow a player to attack their opponent when least expected. That's what we just spoke of. Any Pokemon in the Pokemon TCG can have a battle style with single strike cards decorated with a hint of red and rapid strike cards with a hint of blue. In addition, single strike and rapid strike cards are available as trainer and energy cards, which tend to assist Pokemon of that particular battle style and allow players to build a single strike or rapid strike deck. Okay, so you have some of the new battle style cards are Urshifu V, rapid strike and single strike. You have single strike Tyranitar, rapid strike Empoleon V. I think rapid strike Empoleon V will be a pretty neat one for me. I do like Empoleon a lot. I think I tend to favor water Pokemon a lot. Then you have single strike and rapid strike Urshifu V Max. So some of the cards, including quite the ornery Emboar card, are available to preview below. Stay tuned to Bleeding Cool this week for a piece taking a closer look at these and Pokemon TCG Battle Style cards. So here we have the cards right here, guys. We have the Emboar, Urshifu V Max, Single Strike and Rapid Strike, and Tyranitar V. I do love the way the Rapid Strike V Max cards look in the Single Strike. You've got the Pokemon in just a real powerful pose. You have the glitter in the back, red, blue, depending on if it's Rapid Strike or Single Strike. It's pretty neat. I do like it. I must say I do. Okay, so the Tyranitar V is probably going to draw some major interest, especially if it has a Rainbow Rare form, but that is yet to be announced. I agree. Any Rainbow Rare is obviously going to be a chase card. It's going to be something of value. A Sword and Shield BattleStyles expansion will release worldwide on March 19th. Will be available in booster packs or entire booster boxes if you're a wild type like me. I'm reading, that's not a quote from me. 2 different Elite Trainer boxes and special collections. And here we have the Rapid Strike and the Single Strike boxes. One red, one blue. They look really good. I like the art on them. I wasn't a big fan of the art on the Vivid Voltage booster box with the Chonkachu, with the big Pikachu. I just wasn't really a fan of it. But these look really neat. And I'm going to put a couple of these back. I'm going to put a couple of the booster boxes back for myself. So it says, so far we know this new Pokemon TCG expansion will include 60 battle style cards, 12 Pokemon V, 16 full art Pokemon V, 6 Pokemon V Max, 19 trainer cards, and 6 full art supporter cards, 2 special energy cards. Now, sorry, I have seen the energy cards. They essentially just look like the same energy card, but they will say Single Strike, Rapid Strike on them. It says the attentive reader will see that the full number of this set is 163. The Emboar is 25 out of 163. Rapid Strike, Urshifu VMAX is 88 out of 163, and so on. However, I would say it's safe to expect a great deal of secret rare cards that go beyond this numbering. For example, Vivid Voltage has 189 non-secret rare cards, but the full set, including secret rares, clocks in at a whopping 203. So, if Vivid Voltage has 189, this one has 163. That's a difference of, 26 cards? Yeah, 26 cards. So I guess we can imagine that this will have around the 190 mark, 189, 190 mark with secret rares if they're going to keep it on the smaller side like that, which I would prefer because you do have a lot of people who want to do master sets, and a master set is just collecting every card in that set, having another binder or something you can look at. But yeah, I'm ready for BattleStyles. I'm ready for Shining Fates. I still haven't gotten my allocation for Shining Fates, so if any of you guys are wanting to purchase from me, Unfortunately, I don't know how many I'm getting yet. Hopefully this week I'll know. I know release is getting close. We're less than a month away, less than 2 months away from BattleStyles. Hopefully soon I'll know how many Shining Fates I'm allocated, and shortly thereafter I will know how many BattleStyles allocated, or how much BattleStyles I'm allocated. Yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching, those of you who are on YouTube. This podcast will go up today, and then we'll have another one next Sunday. Today is January 24th, so 7 days from now we will have another podcast go up. If you guys have anything you want to tell me, anything you want me to cover, please do feel free to reach out to me. Thank you guys so much for listening. I look forward to talking to you next week. You guys have a good week, and I will see you next time.